Anyway, welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
And I'm James Junior.
You are James Junior. Me and James have been having a few technical issues. We're not sure who's the issue. It doesn't matter. It seems to be resolved now, so that is the biggest thing. But also just to point out that you don't need to be James Junior on this episode. There is no Stinky Stafford, so, you know.
I know, but I don't want to confuse the tadpoles. It's hard enough for me to remember who I am, let alone they don't like change. None of us do.
All right. Fair enough. I think that's fair enough. Indeed.
Indeed.
So me and James are doing something a little bit different this week. Instead of it being a typical normal episode, we're going to do a couple of stories of the week, obviously of the weird kind, because I've noticed that we haven't done any for a long, long time. So I thought I'd dedicate an entire episode to it. So let's see how it goes.
And to be fair, the world is a weird place.
The world is a weird place. And to be fair, I'm a weird person and I love being weird. But wouldn't it be horrible if the world wasn't weird?
Oh, it'd be traumatizing.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Wouldn't it be weird if the world wasn't weird? Wouldn't it be weird if the world wasn't weird? Wouldn't it be weird if the world wasn't weird?
Yeah. Some people are show-offs.
And some are dyslexic and have a genuine excuse.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say that. If any of our salty tadpoles or new listeners are actually listening, you are now a salty tadpole, just so you know. And if you want to know why, check out the episode that's called Salty Tadpoles, and then it will tell you why. Or I could just explain, but I can't be asked. Do some investigation. Anyway, because there's going to be a lot of reading going on this end, I am dyslexic, but it seems like I can't actually get my words out properly anyway. So, it doesn't make any difference today. I'm powered on Haribo because I'm the worst diabetic in the world. The sugar! Oh, this is going to be fun. Yay!
For some more than others.
So we have only read the headlines out to each other, and also personally we've only read the headlines, so these stories could be utter shit or they could be the world's greatest magic known to mankind. We will all find out together, so that's exciting, isn't it?
It's like a really, really rubbish Christmas.
Yes.
But with story time instead.
It is, it's story time. So are you sitting comfortably, salty tadpoles? We shall begin. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Story time with Gemma and Junior.
Oh, I like that. Carry on. Story time with Gemma and Junior.
We don't know what's going on, but we'll have a laugh.
There you go. So my first story this week is suckable chicken noodle flavoured soup, cough drops. So, firstly, ew.
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, yeah, it's...
Hang on.
Go on.
All I'm imagining now is, does it have the noodles on the inside? You know, like a locket has the honey on the inside. So
oh, yeah.
You're just going to suddenly go, chicken, gag on some noodles as they set free from the lozenge.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, that kind of popped into my head as well. And I think if that is the case, then that is going to be absolutely disgusting. But also the idea of something that should be hot or warm at least, and is a cold lozenge, it just, in my brain, I can't work it out in my brain, to be completely honest. So
my brain would just be screaming congealed, because that's what I imagine it would have to do to become a lozenge. You would have to congeal it. So it's just a lump of chicken stock that's been left out overnight to then jellify, and it's not something I'd want to be putting in my mouth.
No, 100%. I agree there, 100%.
I mean, I know chicken soup is the wonder cure for everything, but not in a convenient, travel-sized and portable lozenge.
No, definitely not. So, sure, I'll do a little bit of the reading of the article and see how far we get on with it.
Please tell us who created this abomination so we can avoid them at all costs.
Well, first of all, we're quite lucky. It's in America. So, America, Woohoo! You can keep this to yourself. We're not interested. Thank you. We all have our go-tos when we have a cold. For some, it's sipping tomato. Now I'm American.
My word, you're taking the full American on board.
Yeah, tomato. So for some, it's sipping tomato soup under a blanket. For others, it's cough drops and a box of tissues. While we can't offer you a blanket-sized tissue, a canned soup company has announced the next best thing. Soup-flavoured cough drops. Yes, really. Well, one foodie writer said he'd rather be sick than pop a Progresso, I think is the company name, Progresso, a soup drop ever again. The company said yesterday it's sold out. So, wow. Here comes the puns, everybody.
Well, how many of those do you think were like hate orders? Like ordered specifically for YouTubers to do taste tests?
That's what I wonder as well, actually. That, they're buying it just to go, oh, this is disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is content.
Yeah. Because I was toying with the idea of us getting some, but obviously shipping from America is not ever going to happen. But, just so that we can go, oh, God, it's the worst thing ever.
Plus, it would become the Gemma show.
It would. Even the Gemma, to be honest, it wouldn't. It'd just become a non-podcast because I would put myself off doing it as well. So, well, this is a super awkward moment.
Boo.
I know. Our soup drops sold out before we had a chance to tell you. So, that's their comeback to the person who said that they'd rather be sick. But do not worry, there's a fresh batch of soup you can suck on coming your way next Thursday. If you think this is all a fever dream, we're sorry to report this is very much real. What was it? We're super sorry, but don't stew is also another pun. Yeah. So, Progresso's owner and one of the largest food companies in the US, General Mills, announced the limited times product yesterday. Yes, that means that it's all sold out within a few hours. What's a soup drop? Well, it's a soup that you can suck on, of course, General Mills said. Who's General Mills? Is he an actual general?
He needs court-martialing.
He does. The company says the chicken noodle soup flavoured drops taste like broth, savoury vegetables, soft egg noodles, and a sprinkle of parsley. Yes, it sounds... It's turning my stomach actually talking about it.
Yeah, it's making me sick.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me think of like gravy when you leave it in the saucepan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, the word congealed is the only thing that comes into my mind.
Yeah.
We literally put it in a mould that we just made chicken noodle soup and just poured it into like an ice cube tray, shoved it in the freezer because it's like what you did when you were kids.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Can we make coffee flavoured ice lollies? Turns out, no, we can't. We can just make cold coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah. Oh, no. So if anybody in America actually wants to try this, They come in a pack of 20 lozenges, and it's $2.49 each. So if you really fancy trying this, then, there you go. And the main ingredient in the lozenges is iso malt, which I'm not sure what that is. A sugar substitute often found in sugar-free sweets, although sugar and chicken don't seem to go in my brain either, but there we have it. As well as meat powder and chicken fat. Yum.
Again, congealed is just running front and centre.
Yeah.
Like, ha-ha, I'm here. These words all describe me.
And of course it came out at the best time as well, which was in flu season. So, let's see. This is a quote from somebody, not sure who. Oh, from General Mills again.
Oh, right.
Yeah. When you're sick, nothing is truly more reassuring than chicken noodle soup, said MC Cummings. Or Goings. The VP.
It'll be coming back up if he's not careful.
Yeah, exactly. The VP, which also could stand for the Vomit Patrol. Business unit director at Progresso at General Mills. So,
do you know what I like when I'm sick?
Yeah, no, go on.
Vimto. Hot Vimto.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
If they made Vimto cough sweets, I'd just be popping them all the time because that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Chicken noodle soup is
No.
It baffles me as to how they even got to the decision of, you know what really needs to be, rejuvenated? The flavours of cough sweets.
Yeah. Because strawberry just doesn't cut it anymore, does it?
Oh, no. The people are sick of blackcurrant and cherry and lemon and honey. No.
Yeah.
Tell you what we need. Chicken noodle soup. Next week, Vindaloo.
That's sure to sort out a cold and also diarrhea.
Yeah, it'll blow it right out of you.
Yeah, I was going to say, not diarrhea, the opposite. Blockages. Instead of lozenges, it could be called blockages.
Oh, it'll clear your sinuses.
Yeah, no, definitely. No,
clear your sinuses and grow hair on your eyeballs.
Oh, God. I mean, as somebody who prefers a korma, this isn't going to go down well with me anyway, but...
No.
Oh, dear. So, no, I think that is the end of that story, and we definitely made it a lot funner. So...
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, thank you for embracing that one with me, James. Thank you.
Just whatever you do, don't make me try one.
No, I will promise never to try it myself or ask you to try it. Although I might ask Senior too, because seeing as how he's taken all this time off to do his fancy stuff,
All his grown-up stuff.
Yeah, I know.
He thinks Werther's originals are exotic.
Yeah, I know. Just sitting him on Grandpa's knee.
No, that got him in court last time.
Did you want to read one of yours?
Oh, I do, because mine is actually from your neck of the woods.
I didn't do it.
I know that, but I'm not going to read out the name of the woman involved.
Okay.
Mainly because it's a criminal case, so it's one of those things, but the actual story behind it is hilarious.
Okay.
So, woman used fart selfies to harass partner's ex.
Oh, no.
A woman who sent videos of herself passing wind in a series of harassing messages to her boyfriend's ex-partner has been given a community order. The 25-year-old woman from Caernarfon, Gwynedd.
Oh, so they're from Wales. I thought you meant they're from Dorset.
No, they are your people.
Oh, okay. My half of people, yeah.
Yeah. She pled guilty to pursuing a course of conduct amounting to harassment. Prosecutors told magistrates in the town how it was this woman's first inappropriate video. She proceeds to pass gas by placing the camera on her bottom and passing wind. She sent 3 more selfies to the ex-partner on the 22nd of December, the court heard, and 4 more on the following day, showing the woman her face smiling at the camera as she was passing wind. The suspect was warned after police caught wind of the issue, but she sent further messages on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. Suspect was arrested at her home, admitted to sending the videos, and was given a 12-month community order and fines. She suggested that she wanted to send the videos because she felt her partner was being treated unfairly, said the prosecutor, Diane Williams. It was pretty malicious. She was smirking throughout, found it hilarious, but the victim didn't. No, I think even the victim did to a point, but maybe after the third one, I think I would start drawing a line.
Yeah.
So apparently the suspect had a difficult upbringing, the court was told, and was said to have mental health problems. No sign of that whatsoever. No.
None at all. I'd also say that she's at least got a sense of humour. Christ.
Yeah. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been feces.
Yeah. A probation officer said she had been in a relationship for 2 years and there was bad blood with her boyfriend's ex-partner. The defending magistrate said there are some issues going on between the suspect and the victim in regards to child contact. At the time she sent these videos, she'd had some drinks, and she sent them understanding now that this has caused the victim some distress. Well, at least we know alcohol. I don't think we needed to know. Alcohol was involved? No. And I quote, she sent them without malicious intent.
I mean, she did, because she just perfectly, well, not perfectly, but she did it. So, she did it with malicious intent.
Well, you have to time it to film it.
Yeah.
But apparently, so the suspect was she was imposed with 15 rehabilitation sessions. I'm assuming that's hold it in. 60 days of alcohol abstinence monitoring and a 2-year restraining order against contacting the victim. She's also been fined £100 in compensation and £200 in costs.
Oh, I feel really sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for the victim. I feel sorry for the person who actually got caught.
I do as well, because I feel like that is yes, it is a prank, but it could have been resolved but in so many other ways of just blocking her.
Yeah, exactly.
After the first one, you just block the message. I would have assumed the first one was a mistake.
Yeah. When the second one came in, you just block the person.
Yeah. From the sounds of it, the first one sounded like a butt dial, quite literally.
Yeah. Just literally talking out of her ass.
Yeah. I was going to say, can you imagine if you fart and Alexa suddenly wakes up?
I do not recognise.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, just in case your Alexas at home are working salted tadpoles. We are now going to make fart jokes.
Hey, Alexa!
If anyone actually gets a response with that, please let us know. The next one is, I make tiny models of beetles holding sex toys for a living. Now, this is very similar to the one where a lady did taxidermy rats and she dressed them up in bondage or whatever it was. So, I've got a style.
Are you just reminding me of my problems?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm trying not to. I didn't intend to, but yeah. So this is also a lady who is from America. So a US artist has found a niche making miniatures of dead beetles holding sex toys. Why, we ask? Why do we need this in our lives? Well, who knows? I guess somebody does if she's making a living from it. So this lady is from Denver, Colorado, has created more than 1,000 artworks using beetles and other insects that they take apart and put back together in human-like positions. The miniatures started off pretty tame, they said, but they evolved to become more complex and dirtier over time. Ooh. Bow chicka wow wow.
I just love the idea of, oh yeah, I just started making normal little models out of dead insects, and then my inner pervert took over.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? It was like, I like my work, but what does it need? More dildos. That's what it needs.
I'm surprised she's not actually making the Beatles into dildos, if I'm honest. I mean, I'm pulling faces at that as well, don't get me wrong.
Do not give this woman ideas, Gemma. Sorry, do not give this person any ideas.
Yeah. Well, she is a woman. It's just that I can't be asked to say her name, so that's why I'm not giving her credit.
Yeah, let's not. We're not advertising this. It would give the illusion we condone
it. Right. So the article is now going to argue with us. Many are centered around the idea of sexual freedom and taking what is often frowned upon, like we're doing, and celebrating it. Well, it's not that we're not celebrating it. It's just we don't want to see a beetle like it, okay? I'll have bugs embracing their sexuality in a dirty scene, Shelby says. Oh, I've given her name out now. I know. I made a bug that is sitting, using a vibrator, and smoking a vape.
I don't want to look this up, but at the same time, all I can think is, are these to scale? Or is it literally a tiny bug under a full-sized vibrator with a full-size vape stuck on its head?
Going by the picture I can see, it's a tiny. This one is of a tiny little condom, and it's got handcuffs in its eyes. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that?
Oh!
I also made a gender-bending bug, which is wearing high heels, but it's got a big dick, and it's holding used condoms and handcuffs. Or I have the words whore and slut, which are often described people in a derogatory ways, and flip it on its head by putting it with a beautiful butterfly. Oh,
yeah, I know whores who do that. They're called tramp stamps.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing new.
That way, it takes the sting away from the word and adds the beauty element to it. I am a queer artist, of course she is, which is fair enough, and I've got no problem with that at all, just to say to the salty tadpoles there. But, you know, it doesn't have to be that you're into bondage doing this with beetles.
We all knew the person who grew up playing with insects. They turned out to be some sort of deviant criminal.
Yeah, serial killer mostly. Yeah.
Exactly. You start with the insects, you move to the pets, and then the humans.
Yes, exactly. So I'm a queer artist, so a lot of my frames and phrases have to do with being gay. I think we've experienced a lot of hate in the community, which I do agree with. I do agree with love is love and all that. And all that is probably contradicting what I just said, but I do mean it.
What you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is entirely between you and a consenting partner. However, doesn't mean I want to see a cockroach doing it.
No, exactly. With a giant penis in high heels.
Yeah, and a condom full of questionable fluids. I'm used to them being full of cocaine.
Yeah. Shelby, who is in her, in their 20s, so is there. So I assumed, actually, when I said she earlier, I might have said the wrong word, but there we have it. Was raised religious in a religious area in Colorado Springs, but refused to follow their parents' faith. They said their dislike of organized religion and the idea it spreads has also influenced their art, adding, I wanted an element of control over my life and sexuality of all the things which the Bible tell you that are bad. So basically, it's kind of looks as though this is a little bit of rebellion to religion.
Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
It does. It sounds as though this person, who I've now realised is not a she by gender, so I do apologise if Shelby ever listens.
But if you are, stop it. It's just weird.
Yeah. And there's other things that you could be doing with your time. But if there's people out there who are buying them, then fair enough. Let's actually see. Let's actually quickly see. Let's see if she sold any.
Quick, let's go on.
Yeah. Oh, well, she's got 20,000 likes on Instagram. So that's a good thing.
Well, as we all know, that means so much to the world.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't say on my quick little look of it, it doesn't seem to be the case that she has sold any. They haven't sold any, but I could be absolutely wrong. But yeah, so that's what bugs are doing. Afterlife. The afterlife of bugs. Wearing dildos and pink stilettos.
Yeah, it's definitely a deleted scene from the Pixar film.
Yes. So what's your one next?
So my next one is a I just burst out laughing when I read this. Man, 84 years old, fights off laundrette robber with a pair of jeans in Maltby. So the incident happened last week, and a 42-year-old man has been charged with attempted robbery. So an 84-year-old man used a pair of jeans to help repel a masked man who twice tried to rob him in a laundrette.
That's not nice anyway.
No, Ron Croker was drying his clothes in Maltby, South Yorkshire, when the would-be robber burst in and demanded, "Give me your effing money now." Mr. Croker stood his ground and refused to give up his wallet. The robber then slowly walked to... Mr. Croker slowly walked towards the man and managed to force him out, all whilst holding a pair of jeans in one hand. The man came back for another try, but was again met with stiff resistance from the retired building site foreman. As the attacker tried to grab him, Mr. Croker screamed, "Get off!" and whipped him with the jeans as he again bundled him out of the laundrette. This is a cracking quote, this. "I've worked all my life for my money. He's not having it," Mr. Croker told BBC.
Yeah, that's a very Yorkshire term, isn't it? Very northern.
I give him an almighty shove and he went rolling into the road, he added. The incident happened on Monday the 7th of January. The morning of the 7th of January, and police said a 42-year-old man has been charged with attempted robbery. Mr. Croker sustained some bruises during the incident, and a GoFundMe has so far raised nearly £2,500 for him.
Aww.
So it's a lovely story in that not only is a old man, he's not been robbed.
Still in his prime.
He's still in his prime, and he's being, and he's getting some compensation for it, and someone's been arrested, which is nice.
Yes.
Justice is being done.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so don't mesh with people from the north of England, because they're still like Vikings. Okay?
Oh, do. We just don't care.
Yeah, they will fight back. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Moving on to my third story. So, James, do you enjoy Wetherspoons?
As a business, yes. On principle, I can't stand the owner. Mainly because he reminds me of Father Jack from Father Ted.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that. But the establishment itself, do you like going to Wetherspoons?
I have to admit, a cheeky spoons can certainly quell the soul on some days.
Well, do you want to hear about a girl who loves Wetherspoons? So much so, she got a tattoo across her stomach it's kind of like gothic, not heavy metal, but black metal kind of writing. Or it says Wetherspoons across her belly.
Are we talking like Slayer album cover?
I'll show you.
Like nice and pointy.
Yes. Now, I don't want to judge because my tummy is not looking that great either. But this lady's tummy is also not that very nice. But, like I said, she equally looks like, I could probably have that kind of tubby too. But I wouldn't do this. So that's why I'm kind of like,
I certainly wouldn't draw attention to it by daubing the name of a cut price pub. That's like tattooing Greg's across your forehead because you like sausage rolls.
Yeah. Honestly, it's so, I mean, although there has been another one, there was another story that we covered before, which was a girl in Bournemouth. So that's literally in my neck of the woods. It's about an hour away. She had one of the sandwiches, the wraps that they do in Tesco's. She actually had that tattooed onto her because it was her favourite meal deal. I think it was like Southern fried chicken or something like that. So, just so that everyone's got the visual, James is looking in despair.
I'm more trying to work out what tattoo artist didn't laugh as they were doing it.
No,
yes, I want a cut price sandwich meal deal. Well, and whatever you do, make sure you get the shading right. And he's there trying to hold in laughs so that he doesn't get his lines wrong. It's just like all those years at art school. All those years at art school to tattoo a bottle of Coke on someone with a double pack of wraps and a bag of fruit.
Yeah. Where has my life gone to?
I am an artist and I'm drawing a chicken wrap.
The poor bastard, I know. I would never do that to my tattooist. My tattooist is a lovely lady and her husband is equally very lovely as well. And yeah, she's my favourite tattooist ever. So I would never do anything like that to her. Anyway, so let's find out what this girl has been up to. A Wetherspoons superfan splashed out, wait for it, £500 to get that tattoo. So it's 1.6 foot wide tattoo of her favourite pub chain's name on her stomach. Tasha Bentley got the inking of Wetherspoons in 5-inch tall death metal font going under the needle in May in tribute to her favourite pub chain and recently seeing it completed. So it's taken about a year, I think, or something like that. The 23-year-old stunned her friends, family and staff at her local The Bull's Head Inn pub. Yeah, because why not get that one? Why not get you representing the place that you work? She's from Greater Manchester, by the way. If anyone is in Manchester and wants to, you're near Manchester, aren't you? You could go and sort them out.
I was technically born just outside of Manchester.
Okay. But Liverpool's not far.
I'm not claiming her. Oh no, Scousers won't have her.
No. But no, what I'm saying is you could always just pop across the border, or you could actually just go to Manchester quickly.
She's not an attraction, Gemma.
Well, she's made herself a spectacle, so what,
Long gone are the days of the circus freaks. We're not allowed to call them that anymore.
Well, you called them that.
She's not shacked up next to the bearded lady.
So actually, she's 23 and she's got 55 tattoos in total, which is more than me, and I'm quite a lot older than her. And she loves Wetherspoons and metal bands, so she got a piece to combine the two, resulting in the design becoming her favourite one. Now a walking advert for the bargain boozer, Tasha is hoping she may get a free whiskey from the chain in recognition of it. Wetherspoons have not commented on this tattoo, and this is me saying it now, by the way. Wetherspoons do not wish to acknowledge this tattoo and actually will never give her discount. But there we have it. So I reckon I am one of the Wetherspoons' biggest fans now. I've got the name on me. So literally, Wetherspoons has not commented on this at all.
Why would you want to?
Well, I think if you're at that stage where you're actually going to be doing, getting something like that branded on you, which, to be fair, I have got this podcast logo, well, one of the podcast logos on me, but this is my baby.
You created that, though. That's different.
Yes, exactly. I decided that, my favorite Po Sun Chinese restaurant is my favorite Chinese restaurant in the entire world because it's in Weymouth. I'm not going to go around and get Po Sun written on my arm, am I?
In a font it's almost illegible.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to get Pizza Hut down my arm, but I'm going to get it written in Russian Cyrillic, where half the letters look like they're backwards, because no one will be able to read it.
Or you could get it in that, what's that one that they do with, like, it comes up with, like, symbols and aeroplanes and stuff like that?
Oh, Wingdings.
Yeah, that's
Wingdings. Yeah.
Just do that. That'll be quite fun.
I actually once submitted my homework entirely in Wingdings because I really didn't like the teacher.
How did that go down well?
Not very well.
No. You got an F for that one, I think.
No, I got told to redo it, which was dead easy because I just highlighted the whole thing and changed it back and then printed it off. So 2 minutes later, after being given my punishment, I was like, all right, there you go. And I ended up getting like a B for it.
Well, there you go. Lessons learned today, children, is that sometimes you can do naughty things and get away with it.
In regards to this young lady, I had to bite my tongue several times. Mainly, it took a week to complete. Why did it take her that long to roll over? When it's a foot and a half wide tattoo, does it take her that long to roll over so they can do the other side?
I know it was a year. So throughout like the time, yeah. So it was like she had a certain sections done, and then she'd like come back and get other. But yeah, 500 quid for that. It's not a nice looking tattoo. To be fair,
no.
I can understand why she'd used the font that she has because she is into like the death metal type music and stuff. It's very death metal music font, but
get a death metal album's title tattooed on you.
Yeah, exactly. It's
not a pub.
Yeah, it is kind of a bit like 500 quid down the toilet. But she's 22, so she can
plenty of time to learn.
Yeah, and regret decisions. So but also she might love it for the rest of her life. So who are we to judge? Apart from we are the Talking Codswallop podcast, and we will certainly judge. So sorry about that.
We're a pair of catty queens on the internet.
Yeah,
we judge everything and everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hang on.
I bet she looks like a high school sketchbook.
Yes, could do.
All her tattoos will be like really badly self-practice ones.
Yeah.
Right, so bringing a bit of levity back to the conversation. So my third is cat left on plane ends up taking 3 flights before reaching its destination.
Ooh.
8-year-old cat Mittens
Aww.
appeared to have lost weight after 3 trips in 24 hours, which saw her being flown to Melbourne before mistakenly being taken back to New Zealand.
Oh, how did they not know she was there?
A family were migrating from New Zealand to Australia.
Okay.
And it went horribly wrong when they realised their cat had been left on the plane and flown back home. So Mittens, an 8-year-old Maine Coon cat, so that's a big cat.
That is, yeah.
Booked on a one-way trip from Christchurch in New Zealand to Melbourne, Australia on the 13th of January. Christchurch, if you remember, was the city that had the rather nasty earthquake.
Yes.
I think in 2014 or similar. So, but once they touched down in Melbourne, she was meant to be unloaded from the cargo hold, but after 3 hours waiting, the owner said there was no sign of her. It was then that the ground staff told the owner of the cat the plane had returned to New Zealand with the cat still on board.
No.
The return trip involves around 7.5 hours in the air. I said, how can this happen? How can this happen? Oh my God. This, according to the cat owner. It was not a great start to our new life in Melbourne because we didn't have the family. We weren't complete.
Mm-hmm.
The Air New Zealand pilot was told about Mittens' presence mid-air, so they turned on the heating in the cargo hold to keep her comfortable, which is nice.
Yeah, that is nice. As long as it wasn't a hot day and it actually made her too hot. Yeah.
She was told, so I believe the owner was told a stowed wheelchair had obscured the baggage handler's view of the cat's cage. Upon landing back in Christchurch, so back in New Zealand, Mittens was met by the company that the owner had employed to take care of the cat's transfer, and they ensured she was safely put on a plane back to Melbourne to be reunited with her family. The cat had lost weight but was otherwise unharmed. She basically just ran into my arms and just snuggled up in here and did the biggest cuddles of all time. It was just such a relief. Air New Zealand apologised for the blunder and said it would refund all costs associated with the animal's travel, according to a statement by the airline. We'll work closely with our ground handler in Melbourne to ensure this doesn't happen again, said the spokesperson, Alicia Armstrong. So good on her, and good on the company for coming through. Meanwhile, Mittens, not usually an affectionate pet, is the cuddliest she has ever been, according to the owner. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. At least, though, that they didn't have to do too much quarantine, because I'm guessing going into Australia, they probably would have had to have done like the side of like quarantine and stuff like that. So it'd been on the plane for long enough to not need it.
Well, I think it's if I remember correctly, because my brother went to Australia for nearly 15 years and came back with his dog. So mostly it's jabs and inoculations that they have to make sure they're up to date with.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, imagine finding out halfway home that you've got someone else's pet in your boot.
Yeah, no, definitely. You are.
Yeah. My car's making a funny noise.
Did you want to do your fourth story? And then can I finish the episode with my fourth story?
Absolutely.
Because I think mine is going to be really funny. Yours might be funny because, as we said at the beginning, we don't know.
Well, we tried to find the weird and wonderful.
Yes.
So I'm absolutely fine with that if you are.
Yes.
So my final story is woman surprised after being declared dead.
I take it all back.
Now, this is not as uncommon as most people think, as it has been covered before, but this is a different case.
Yeah.
Nicole Polino discovered she was registered as deceased, saying the development really, really messes up your life. A woman has spoken of her anguish after she was mistakenly declared dead. Nicole Polino of Gettysburg, Maryland, made the discovery after applying to renew her driver's license. She said she was left frightened and surprised as a text informing her she was officially dead popped up in the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration System. It appears that I am deceased, she told NBC4 Washington. I got a little frightened, I'm not going to lie, and surprised because I'm alive. I'm here. Officials then informed Miss Polino that she could not renew her license before she received a letter from the U.S. Internal Revenue System, or the IRS, describing her as a deceased taxpayer. Health insurance for the mother and her 3 children was cancelled, prompting a stream of medical bills and leaving her unable to get the inhaler she needs for her asthma.
Oh, no.
This really, really messes up your life, Polino said before breaking down in tears. It has affected me a lot. It's affected my health, my mental health. She then received a call from the Social Security's officials who told her the mistake was the result of a typo. Just a bit. I'm really sorry, love. I meant to type undead, and I forgot which one it meant.
So, one little tiny typo, which could have been like 4 instead of a 0 or whatever,
Well,
yeah, that I'm guessing is like the potential thing. But one tiny little thing has literally ruined this poor woman's living life.
Yeah. Basically, according to the representative, a funeral home tried to report someone else dead, but got a digit wrong in the social security number. So a bit like we have our national insurance numbers, America has social security numbers. So it's basically like a universal identifier.
Yeah.
So the Social Security Administration told NBC4 Washington its records were highly accurate, and then less less than 0.033% of more than 3 million death reports they received annually were later corrected, suggesting around 10,000 reports were wrong each year.
Oh my God.
This happens on an almost daily basis, attorney Joseph McClellan previously told the network. The impact is the worst impact you can have on your credit report. Polino told NBC4 Washington that following their inquiries, she received a letter from the Social Security Administration saying the mistake had been corrected and that she was officially alive again.
Oh, good. But did she have to pay all her bills and stuff like that, though? Had her health insurance and stuff gone all back?
Unfortunately, it doesn't mention that. However, I would assume that being able to present a letter from social services, social securities, to the insurers and saying, "See, not my problem."
Surprise, I'm alive.
Yeah, not my mistake. I'm still breathing for now. Give me my inhaler.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That poor lady, though.
Yeah, I'm glad that it had a positive outcome in the end. But yes, I can imagine, especially as you said, it's such a knock-on effect. The fact that all she did was try and renew her driver's license, and it turned into everyone getting an alert to say that she was dead, despite standing before them.
I know, it's insane. It's absolute insanity. No. Oh, poor lady. Out of all of the stories, I feel the sorriest for her. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, my last story before we wrap up this episode is, headline reads, Mosh pit nappies released to people to avoid long queues at the loos at gigs, which I think actually is a genius idea. It's bloody funny, but it's a genius idea nonetheless. Because if you've ever had to go to a public toilet at a festival, you'd rather piss your pants than actually do that. So, if it's a nappy, it's fine. And they're sexy because they're leather. Ooh, yeah. Although leather and urine and chafing, maybe not.
At least they won't squeak.
No, or they might.
They'll be well lubricated eventually.
Yeah. So, a mosh pit diaper designed to help concert goers avoid long trips to the loo has sold out within minutes. The limited edition black pleather. Oh, sorry, it's not leather, it's pleather.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah. Incontinence pad, designed specifically to be used in mosh pits at music gigs, was available for $75 or £59 in UK currency, before quickly flying off the shelves. The unusual item was sold by US bottled water company Liquid Death, who often incorporate heavy metal imagery and stunts into their marketing.
That certainly makes a lot more sense now.
I mean, it looks quite funky. Look at that.
Oh, are you into BDSM and can't hold your water? Then have we got the product for you?
Yeah, but it has got a sexy little skull on it.
That makes up for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Promo material for the pit diaper reads, if you've been to a concert, you know the scariest place isn't the mosh pit, it's the bathroom. Now you can avoid having to brave the hellscape with the new pit diaper powered by Depend, the best a man can get.
No, that's Gillette.
I know. There's a twist on it.
Pit diaper from Depend.
And yes,
Tadpoles, help me. She's gone mad.
That was Gemma who did that, so yes. It's an innovative, it's a new solution.
Innovative
to help fans stay in the safety of the pit, still enjoy all the great testing liquid death that you can, and go for a piss at the same time. I always thought, and I went to gigs, that for the most part, men went into an empty bottle and then threw it across the crowd, because that is what I've experienced. I go to a lot of heavy metal rock gigs, so that's what I've noticed. Women, not so much.
Unless it's Oasis, in which case you piss in the bottle and then throw it at Liam.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or it's Coldplay, but we won't go into that again because we don't.
Who goes to Coldplay?
Well, exactly. Only people that want to throw piss. Or that should be. That's the case, but it's not. So anyway, so it comes following a number of viral bathroom incidences at concerts this year, which has sparked a debate for the lengths that fans are willing to go to see their idols. In November, content creator on TikTok described her experience watching a woman wet herself for Sabrina Carpenter show while waiting for the singer to take stage. Imagine you are just patiently waiting for a sweet baby angel Sabrina to come on stage when all of a sudden the caption reads, before switching to a photo of a massive stain on the black floor. A woman randomly squats down, takes off her underwear and pees all over the floor. At least the crowd was in a good sense of humor about it, and it was cleaned up. Ugh. So that's that. So that's my last story, and it was fairly funny, but also it was also quite disturbing as well. But in the early days of me going to heavy metal and rock gigs, I used to really enjoy it because I would go and I would see all of the men queued up outside of the men's loos, and then I'd just walk into the ladies going da 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 da, because at that point it was more of a man's music rather than ladies' music, so there was hardly any queuing from the female point of view. But nowadays, everyone loves it. So it's, it's kind of ruined my fun, but that's okay. In the early days, it was a pleasure to see the men queuing up. And I think at one point I actually took a photo and went, this is different. So yeah.
And then Gemma got beaten up for being smug.
No, because you never hit a lady. Never hit a lady.
You don't count.
I am a lady, don't you? I am a lady. I'm a lady. Anyway.
I'm not asking for proof.
No, and I'm not showing. So that I would have you'd have asked nicely, but I'm not now.
Well, we're saving that for episode 400.
Yeah, exactly. So, on that note, awkwardly, I feel like we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
And I have been James.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Stafford smells.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.